Indiana is a monster. I don't know why.
It's a wagon.
I don't know why any of y'all doubted this. Wow. Okay. Listen, the point of the reaction pod is not to sit up here and brag about Locke's wins. So I'm not going to do it. But when I had to take on the whole damn podcast, standing up for Kurt Signetti, smoking through the filter, that man, and did you see how mad he was when assignments were being missed in the third and fourth quarter?
Listen, I don't want to throw a grenade into that locker room because the vibes are at an all-time high. And as an Illini fan, throwing a grenade in the Indiana locker room is never anything that I would want to do. I would never want to blow a wheel off this wagon. But Taven Jackson threw for twice as many touchdowns as Curtis Rourke today. Is there a quarterback controversy in Bloomington?
There is
the wrong guy starting?
No,
Do they need to go to Taven? Is this a Quinn Arch situation?
There is a great quarterback situation. There is not a quarterback controversy. We had a fingy issue, and it just so happens he had a fingy issue, and it just so happens that Curtis Rourke didn't have to test his fingy out like Adam Driver did for Utah because they were up. Let's see, what was it? It was by the time, because he didn't come out for the second half at all, right? It was 28-7, and then Jackson goes in and they outscore him 28-0 in the second half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just blew him out in the third quarter, and it was done.
A couple things that impressed me. One, just how crisp Indiana was when they came out. I mean,
yes.
75-10, 88, 75, 74, first 5 drives, 4 touchdowns. Okay. That'll get it done. Also, like their ability to push Nebraska around, I thought was pretty good. Like their run game, they had some chunk runs there, but ultimately, like I was pretty impressed with like the consistency with which they ran the ball. Like Indiana looks really good offensively and defensively. I mean, I'm still not sure they're amazing, but damn, like they showed up again. Nebraska didn't score much, and Nebraska couldn't really move the ball. So you got to start giving Indiana some credit. I think here's where it is. Like, nice job. This is a good football team.
Yeah, like I feel I got this game so wrong, and not just in the handicapping aspect of it. It was I thought this game was going to be about whether or not Indiana's secondary with its size disadvantage would be able to hold up against the Nebraska wide receivers. What I did not consider was the opposite end of that is, can Indiana take away Nebraska's run game and force the true freshman quarterback to win on the road against an actual good team? Because, like, yeah, he beat Purdue on the road, but that wasn't a great performance by Nebraska overall, even if they won the game. And he clearly couldn't. Like, Raiola looked like terrible for the most part. Like, he hit a couple nice, pretty throws that you see him make, just like, oh boy, but he was not
had
making
6'4" receivers and he was throwing them
at our
high.
freshman game.
You know, like he was.
He had 3 interceptions. Yeah,
he was sailing them.
Yeah, like he just did not play well. So it's like Indiana. Kurt Signetti was much smarter than me. He said, "Well, how about I just make the freshman beat me and see if he can?" And then he won 56-7. He couldn't.
To your point about the Indiana defense, I felt like because they did not respect the run, they were able to bring extra pressure on Raiola and kind of heat him up, speed him up, get him off his mark just a little bit. The pass Ellison ran the ball really hard. There's something about the way that Indiana handles its business that is just so efficient and ruthless. And look, they've got Ohio State, they've got Michigan,
don't mention Michigan in the same breath as Ohio State.
Well, they've got teams that at the line of scrimmage are going to be different.
The only game I'm worried about for these Hoosiers the rest of this season is Ohio State. I think they're going to beat Washington. Maybe Michigan State gives them more of a fight because, again, we'll get to it later, I'm sure. But Michigan State looked pretty okay today. Michigan's got nothing for this team. Michigan won't be able to score enough. Even if the defense slows this Hoosiers team down, Michigan won't score on them. Ohio State and then Purdue. Like this team is a legit threat to get to Indianapolis. Like you could be looking at Oregon versus Indiana for a Big Ten title, or Ohio State versus Indiana for a Big Ten title. And if that happens, they're also a legit threat to get an at-large berth in the playoff. Like if they finish 10-2 and their losses are Ohio State and Oregon, they're in.
No, that would be 11-2. You're talking about because they don't play Oregon in the regular season.
Sorry, if they lose the Big Ten, they're 11-2.
Oh yeah, if they show up
in.
to Indianapolis with one loss, they're in.
And that's nuts because we're talking about Indiana. And this isn't like fantasy. Hey guys, let's be stupid for 5 minutes and pretend Iowa's got a chance. They have a chance.
So on the newsy side of this, the way that I understand it coming out of post game, they felt like Curtis Rourke could have gone back in and played. It was his thumb was bleeding. Got a lot of good Joel Klatt commentary. I'm being very earnest here. Well, he goes, it's like, well, Gus, I know it doesn't make sense, but you want to throw it hard. And what he was describing was you don't want to throw a touch pass when your thumb is like bleeding and numb. And he's like, all you want to do is you just want to put that spin on it. I was like, okay, thank you, Joel. I appreciate that. Joel played college quarterback. I did not. I haven't had to. I haven't had to throw a pass with a bleeding thumb. Okay, it's not
bleeding thumb. That's like a blues guitarist.
Hey, yeah. I have played guitar with my fingers bleeding. Damn right I have. I can still rip a solo with my fingers bleeding. I knew what he was talking about.
Can we also talk about Gus calling Curtis Rourke the kid?
Thank you.
Curtis is what, 24?
Curtis 25? Is older than McKenzie.
He's the oldest dude on that field. He might be older than some of the GAs on Kurt Cignetti's staff. And we're out here calling him the kid?
The kid. I was like, hold on a second. Let's check his eligibility and let's check his age. And do you know what? Interestingly enough, he turns 24 on October 25th. He'll be 25 by the next game. Preposterous, but still. I mean, I guess he's new
to rent a car. He's not a kid anymore.
Do Canadians age differently?
Oh, the exchange rate.
The exchange rate. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. That's where we had it wrong.
Okay. So maybe in like Canada, he's 21, eh? In hockey years, he's only 19.
Oh, Roxy.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's 12:30 p.m. All right. Yeah, we're talking Canadian now. Yeah.
We got Jordo, Marty, Fishy, Natchy, Roxy. Hey, Roxy, yeah. Okay, let's go.
Oh yeah. Okay there. All right, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna throw the football around there.